Well, hey there. Thanks for stopping by again. This is Cyrus Alderwood, and today I'd like to talk about beer. Just really good, frothy, cold beer. I don't have any, but doesn't mean we can't talk about it, right? So, in the comments down below, if you get bored, if you're watching this, what's your favorite kind of beer? Or if you're not a beer guy or girl, wine, whiskey, whatever. Personally, I'm kind of partial to Sierra Nevada Pale Ale when I have it around. But that's not too often. Not too often. 6-pack costs what, like $11 when they get it out here in my neck of the woods. But anyway, speaking of beer, I'd like to thank my friends that and some of my readers that follow my work for picking up Tales from the Sunset Pub this week. Came out on July 1st, last Saturday. This is Sunday the 9th. So I've noticed I've kind of had a steady flow of book sales. Nothing to brag about, being an independent author. I'm not Stephen King or anyone. So I do appreciate everybody that spent their hard-earned money to buy the book. The book's $9.95 in paperback, $3.99 in Kindle. I try to keep everything under $10. We all work too freaking hard for our money to go spend too much in a book. But it's a great adventure. Hope those of you who read it that liked it. I think I've got a couple of comments already on Amazon. So those that left comments, thanks so much. Means a lot to me. If you've read the book, or if you're reading the book, feel free to jump on Amazon, leave me an honest ranking and comment. Unless it really sucks, just then don't tell anybody. But hope everybody's enjoying it so far. Here's the book, Tales from the Sunset Pub. So there's some questions you got to ask yourself in this book. If you haven't read it, maybe you've seen me post a bunch of stuff online about it. Some questions need to be answered, right? And these are some questions you're going to come about reading the book. Does Tracy get fed up enough that she actually quits her job at the dildo factory? You got to read the book to find out. Is Carter Ford pissed off enough that he wants to go back into Vietnam for round 2 all these years later? Maybe. You got to see what he has to say in the Ballad of Carter Ford. How bad does a drug pusher's ear bleed when you push him to the limits in an alley in Cincinnati? And another question. How bad can you burn your ass with a fire dancer in Vegas? And what happens when Derek falls in love with a midget stripper? These are questions that you got to ask yourself, do I really want to know the answers? And I'm thinking, yeah, hell yeah, you probably do, right? What happens when Walden goes on the worst blind date in history? What happens there? What happens, when the character based on me tells you about the worst date he ever had? Blind date, so to speak. And yeah, actually, it was a true story. So that part of the book is true, even though a lot of it's fiction. And, I based some of the characters loosely off people I knew and still know. I've made friends with these savages years ago and still friends with them today. So thanks again to those guys for being part of the inspiration for this wacky, crazy adventure that's broken up into short stories throughout the book. Some of it's very funny, and a couple of them are kind of edgy. So it's a multi-genre kind of book. You're going to laugh, and you're going to kind of cringe a little bit too, but that's a risk we all take every day when we get up and go out of the house. So if you get an opportunity, stop by Amazon.com, look for Tales from the Sunset Pub, and my other works, just toss those out there as well, are included. Yes, a title called A Man Called Douche. All right, that's a pretty funny book too. That's comedy. And then another book called Pot of Gold that worked with character development with another writer by the name of James Hibbets on that particular book. That book is incredibly hilarious. I'll do another video on that one because that particular book, that book has a history. I wrote that when I was in a very dark place and needed to laugh. There's kind of a story behind that book. So I'll do another video on that another time. And if you like the kind of creepy stuff, like I said, there's a couple of edgier stories in Sunset Pub. But I wrote a collection of short stories called Bedtime Stories for the Terminally Afraid. It was a collection of short stories in the horror genre. So hopefully that's another genre I really like writing in. I kind of cut my teeth initially, started writing in that genre to begin with. And my next book, I'm not sure which one the next one will be, but I've already got quite a few short stories for another collection of horror short stories. And they are a little edgier than the previous one. But they're very good. I think you're gonna like some of these. So I'm almost finished with that. I probably maybe have another 2 or 3 short stories to write, and I'll maybe look at doing that later on this year. But stop by, pick up Tales from the Sunset Pub, give it a shot, see what you think, either on Kindle or paperback, and let me know what you think. Hopefully you'll like it, and tell your friends about it. Thanks again for stopping by. Check me out on Facebook, also on Twitter, and you can also follow me on my website at cyrusalderwood.com. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks.